I am Louis Farrakhan, minister of Muhammad's Temple, number 7 in New York City, and the national spokesman for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Almighty God, Allah, revealed to him that the white race is a race of devils. Devil meaning wicked by nature. What more could a devil do than what has been done to the black man of America? In theology, we have been taught that the devil would get you after you were dead, if you were bad, and you would go to hell, a place of eternal fire, and there the devil would torment us. Well, in that sense, that's a pretty merciful theology, because at least when you go to hell and meet the devil, you are dead. And being dead, you're not able to feel a pain. Now we are in a literal hell in America.
This is a very significant interview because 1974 is about the time when Louis Farrakhan basically made a bid for leadership of what becomes the Nation of Islam. It was a moment when the Nation of Islam itself was full of corruption, internal violence, assassinations, full of thuggery in some ways. Louis Farrakhan's stature rose significantly at this period. Even in 74, those inside the Nation of Islam and those who had continued to work within Malcolm's Organization of Afro-American Unity had never trusted Farrakhan. They were convinced that he was involved in assassination. And so what Farrakhan ends up doing is playing down that part. He stops vilifying Malcolm X. Malcolm X dead is more useful to him than alive.
We do not smoke. We do not drink. We do not use needles or drugs. We do not commit fornication or adultery. We do not gamble. We do not lie, cheat, or steal. We are forbidden even to argue with one another, much less fight or draw each other's blood. It is against the very law of Islam and the law of nature for us to be lazy and sit around waiting and begging somebody else to do for us what we could do for ourselves. And one thing that I failed to mention a moment ago, that filthy swine. God has divinely prohibited through the time of Moses that man should eat the swine. If you just think for a moment of that ugly creature, that filthy creature, and what the swine eats, how in the world could an intelligent man go and eat that which eats his garbage, eats dung?
There is a generation of people who are seeking precisely that kind of discipline because the drugs are taking over. The mid-70s is a period of the beginning of the decline. The violence is taking over. The handguns are made available cheaply. Crime is going up. Farrakhan wasn't interested in a political agenda. It was against the rules of the Nation of Islam to adopt a political agenda. It's not until really 1980 that you begin to see the Nation of Islam under Farrakhan's leadership becoming more politically active.
It is not our hands that will bring about the fall of America. It is the divine power of Almighty God, Allah, that is now bringing about the destruction of the United States of America. Her destruction will serve as a warning to all of Europe that America, in her bold mistreatment of the very people of God, is now reaping what she has sown. The same divine plagues that God sent against Pharaoh in Egypt are now visible in America.